So today we are going to test out the Insta360 Xplorer Grip, and we're going to do a comparison against the aMagisn grip that I have already done a review of previously. So we have the cage for the Insta. It's actually made by a company called Tilter. Then we have the handle. The handle is pretty solid, and you can see just how heavy it is. We have the shutter release button, we have the strap, and we have the cover for the cold shoe. So I'm firstly just going to compare the cage that I already have on this. So I'm going to take the Ace Pro 2 out, and I'm going to compare these two cages, and I can already feel that this is heavier than the Fly Mile one. So you can definitely see there's a difference in the two cages. You can see there's an actual button on the side to do the start-stop rather than having to put your finger in there and change it. Everything else looks the same. There seems to also be a bigger lip to protect the screen, so I'll have a look at the two comparisons later on. I only have one camera to compare. So the Fly Mile does have a little wedge there for a second cold shoe mount. Other than that, everything looks the same, although this definitely feels a lot heavier and better built. You can also see here there's an offset on the cold shoe mount here, and also there is again a button for the quick start option rather than having to put your finger into there for the same thing. So yeah, they're the main things. So let's firstly unlock, so you can sort of see it's got two releases. So this is obviously where you put the camera itself, and it seems to be quite a easier close mechanism on that one. So you press to release. If we compare it to the other one, when you close it, it needs a bit of a push, so it doesn't always slot in the same way. So next, and that is annoying because it does automatically shut, so we need to make sure that the camera is inserted the same way, and the easiest way is to check that the top quick shutter release lines up with the button on there. And next we just have to slide the camera in just very carefully, don't want to scratch it, and then close, and then it's locked. And you can already see there is a little bit of a protection on the screen, not much, but a little bit more than the other one. And you can see that this is the quick release on the side that allows you to swap out the battery. So yeah, that firmly slots in, and already that feels a lot more sturdy. Next, I'm actually going to compare the handle from my previous review that I did on the aMagisn Xplorer Grip. So I've got that here. So I'm going to take these items out. So there's the grip, and then there's the shutter, and already you can see a remarkable amount of difference. I mean, you know, just the weight on the grip compared to that, there is a fair amount of difference, and I'll probably do some sort of measurement in terms of weight on this as well, but you can already see there's quite a big difference on here. So let us put the grip on, and again you can just sort of see how it lines up, and you can just turn this screw on the side. I'm not sure if they do actually give you, they don't give you any kind of a screw to lock this in, because it doesn't lock in, so you do have to sort of do this yourself. So that is now fairly locked in. I will probably just tighten it with a softer screwdriver. So yeah, that is now locked in just for comparison, and then this just slides on, and that's it. That is all it's taken. And we can now see that this does work. I do actually think I've taken the quick capture off, so just make sure you have the quick capture on. I'll lock that, and now just turn it back on, and yeah, you can see straight away it's working quite well. And there you have it. There is the Xplorer Grip for the Insta360. This cost $84.99. There was some postage on that as well, so you do try and go above the free postage if you're ordering directly from Insta360. I managed to get a local store to do that, so they provided this on quite a quick delivery for the same price, and postage, well, it was collection, so collection was free from the local store. So you can also see that this just sort of finishes it off by sliding on top and just giving it an overall really good feel. And just as a comparison, I'm just going to hold the grip, and you can't see my fingers within the shot, and you can just grip it and you can't see my fingers in the shot, compared to the slightly smaller handle, and you can already see there's quite a difference. The Insta is a little bit larger, and it does feel a much more solid grip on there. So let me do a final comparison between the two. So my observations are the aMagisn's perfectly usable. It's a lot lighter if weight is an issue. It does come in cheaper. However, the compromise is that it doesn't feel as well built as the Insta360 offering, and the only thing that really goes for it is the price point, whereby it is something like £40 cheaper than the official Insta360 Xplorer Grip. It is also a lot more readily available. However, the other downside is that it is a little bit more fiddly. So personally, my choice is going to be the Insta360 Xplorer Grip. I will stress that I have not been sent this by Insta360. This is my own purchase, and I paid the full price. I didn't get any kind of discounts on it, and I paid for both of these items, and that is my total impartial review. About dismantling, dismantling is very much the same way. You just need to unscrew the side. It would be nice if there was some sort of a quick release for the handle, but that comes off and the top slides off, and I can already notice how much lighter that is. So if you don't have use for the handle, i.e. you're sort of doing a bit more action shots, it's probably best just to stick with just the frame or the camera on its own, because there is quite a lot of weight on the handle that will make it a lot heavier. So if we again look at doing the release from the top, we have to press the top button and the camera will slide out straight from there. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe.